Happy Saturday. Yes. We have reconvened again to be able to show people how to add different networks to the Metamask so they can go on these different exchanges, participate, interact, and pick up some coins. It's relatively simple. I'm gonna just click on my little Metamask Fox face up here just to show you what it looks like. This is the pop-up when you have MetaMask. The default network that it sits on is Ethereum. But what we're going to need to be able to do is swap between different networks or main nets. If you hear network or main net, those words are pretty interchangeably used. Just in general, this just means like a radio frequency, if you will. When you're interacting with these different exchanges and things, sometimes you'll need to be on a different network to be able to interact with an exchange and get coins or participate or do certain actions. So don't let that confuse you. If you hear network, main net, all the same jazz up here. Okay, so I think I had a browser that I pulled up just like this. So it's a little bit easier in my opinion. First off, I'm gonna say if you don't have a MetaMask, you can go to metamask.io and download your MetaMask if you don't have one. It's just a browser extension, so it sits right up here on your browser. If you do have one downloaded and you're like, where's my MetaMask? I can't find it. Typically, if you click on this little puzzle piece back here, all you need to do is probably activate the push pin, because if the push pin's not on, you won't see his little face sitting up here. But if you do have the push pin on, there he is, sitting right there. So I have my other wallet sitting up here too. So you can get it from here. Personally, I use the Brave browser. It's just a little bit safer. You get paid in crypto to use it, this, that, and the third. I've stopped using Chrome and Opera and all those other things. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with them, but they collect your data and do other things with it. Brave's a bit more private. In addition to that, one of the simplest ways, I'm going to close that one out. One of the simplest ways to add a lot of these networks on is by going to zapper.fi. A few people made a good mention of that earlier. I think Mike Soteros also showed this on his class before. Zapper.fi is just like a portal website that'll read the entire account balance up here. So I just made another empty wallet just to show you. When you come here, you're going to connect your wallet. There'll be a little button up here to connect your wallet, or in the upper right-hand corner as well. And you can click down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Some of the networks that are preloaded on here are Arbitrum, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, CeeLo, Ethereum, Phantom, Harmony One, Optimism, and Polygon. We'll be using all of those in the future. So all you would do is once your wallet is connected one by one, you're just going to click on each network and you'll have a little pop-up notification come. What you see up here is that your wallet's defaulted on Ethereum mainnet. That's usually what it's defaulted to. But we're going to be using a lot of other networks. So what this pop-up is telling you is that you're currently on the Ethereum mainnet. This is the website that you're connected to. I'm currently on zapper.fi. And then it's asking for permission to switch whatever network you're currently on to the new network. Like in this example, it's saying, is it okay if I switch you to the Arbitrum network? You're going to say yes in this example. Boom. So now, anytime that I click on my MetaMask face up here in the corner again and drop it down, Arbitrum's already added as an option. You see that up here in the upper right-hand corner? Arbitrum's an option. And the same process would be the same for any of these networks that are down here: Arbitrum, Avalanche, all these that I read through earlier. There's a few other networks that I'm gonna give you the codes to that you can just input them in that way. Like if there's a network that you don't have that's listed down here on Zapper.fi, when you click up here on this networks thing, you can click Add Network. What that'll do is open up a brand new window and it'll give you these 5 fields to fill out. So just like I mentioned earlier, we're talking about radios and frequencies. You're plugging in the information so you can get on the correct network or the correct frequency so you can interact with these different exchanges. I think the only 2 that weren't on Zapper that we were using, I can drop the information down in the chat for. One is GoChain. This is the one that we'll be using to store our OMI. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a second and drop that information in the chat. So like up here in network name, you would just type GoChain. And then in the next field, new RPC URL, you're going to drop this link that I'm dropping in the chat right here. Boom, chat, boom. And then chain ID, that's the number. As you can see, that's 60. So I'm gonna type that right there. Boom. Symbol, of course, you're going to type Go because that's the network that we're using, the Go chain. And then the last thing is the Block Explorer URL. So I'm gonna copy that and drop that down there for you as well. Boom. So what all that's doing is pulling information from certain portals in order for your wallet to be able to communicate. That's all. So I've already added.
I also just dropped the screenshots of all of those in our chat.
Perfect. Wonderful. And in addition to that, thank you so much, Manny. That's very helpful. You're so helpful, Manny. I love you, Manny. Anyway, the other one that I don't think was on Zapper.fi, let me take a peek right quick. I think it was Chronos. It was the crypto.com one. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop that one in the chat right now as well. Okay, so we got, you're going to, of course, in a network name, you're going to put Chronos. And then in a new RPC URL, you're going to put this up here. Let me copy that. Boom. And then your chain ID is 25. Your symbol is CRO. And then your Block Explorer URL is right here. And if you don't have access to this spreadsheet, just remind me at the end and I will help you. You'll be able to unmute and ask questions shortly. There you go. So that's pretty much how to go. You'll just plug all those details into those fields on the MetaMask, and all that'll do is add that network for you. So in the future, you'll be able to go and do different interactions on that particular mainnet or network. So in this particular example, I believe I have my Bitforex already up. I purchased some more OMI today. So what we're going to do is move our OMI off of Bitforex, which is where most of us got it back in March when Kurt first mentioned OMI. I can't believe it's been a year. Wow. So we're going to withdraw this OMI. What I came here and did before, because if you have your security settings set up appropriately on Bitforex, then you know that you'll have to send an email and a text message. You got to go to your authenticator. You're going to put in some codes to be able to navigate through the website. If you don't have to do all that, I'm going to need you to go to your security settings and set up your security settings, please. But when you come to withdraw, make sure you're on the correct token. And I personally added a frequently used address because I plan on continuing to accumulate OMI and moving it over to my MetaMask. Buy it, move it, buy it, move it. So you have the option to save your address here. So I just saved my address, which if you take a little gander up here, I'm gonna switch to this one right quick, is this account address. 0x089 or the first four and then EAD. So it's still going to read as a 0xID, but because you put in the correct frequencies for it to be on another mainnet, and I'm gonna be using the Go chain, it's able to read it. So I both purchased a little bit of Go just so there's some fees in here, which you don't have to do that right off if you're just moving your OMI over to your MetaMask. And then I also sent a test transaction earlier to make sure that everything would go okay, and it went okay. So again, to recap, at this point in time, you would have already had your MetaMask. If you didn't have an account, you would have created an account with MetaMask. You would have written your seed phrases down, preferably in your stone book by Shield Folio. Not an affiliate, no. And then from there, you would add the contract code. Oh yeah, let me show that to you as well. If you go here on CoinGecko and you scroll up and you type OMI, Winston was so helpful earlier in helping us find this. Thank you, birthday boy. When you come here on CoinGecko and you're on the correct token, you're going to click on Explorers, and that'll open up a page called GoChain.
Yay, thanks.
And from there, you can navigate and type in the correct token, and it'll navigate you to OMI. So this address hash right here is the contract code for OMI that you're going to put in to your MetaMask when you're creating a new token. So I'll show you how to do that again. When you're in MetaMask, hold up, let me open the pop-up. There we go. Another handy trick, because I don't like to work with just this little pop-up, I'll hit these three dots up here, and then I'm gonna hit expand view. That'll open your wallet up as a whole page, so you can actually breathe and see and have some room to click on stuff. But once you're on the assets tab, all you're going to do if you don't see your token is you're going to hit import tokens down here. So after you click import token, that contract code that we copied from the Block Explorer GoChain website, which this is for OMI, you're going to copy this address hash right here, and you're going to come and drop it right here. And I've already added it. So mine says token has already been added. And then you would type in the symbol for that, which would be OMI, or it'll pre-populate it for you if you've copied the correct transaction hash, which it will, but I already have it added. So that's why mine says that. So once you have added it successfully, it'll sit right there. Okay. So at this point, you've added the token. So there's a space for it to land somewhere so you can see it when it comes over. So back over on Bitforex now, right? This is after you've already purchased some OMI. If you need assistance purchasing some OMI, you can hit me up after this session, because I know navigating some of these exchanges is a little tricky at first, but you'll get the hang of it. I've already pasted my MetaMask address up here and created a frequently used address for it. And now I'm just going to move over to OMI that I purchased earlier and throw it in the wallet. There we go. I'm moving these Zoom toolbars out of the way. Scroll down a little bit, and it's telling you right here what the fee is. They're going to take one of my OMI, and I'm going to hit submit. It's going to ask me for my trading password and some verification stuff. If I clicked all the buttons appropriately, yes. Okay, enter my Google Authenticator code. Come over here, Bitforex, right here. Boom. And you see the message says succeed. So it went ahead and took all my OMI. As you see now, I have 0 available OMI because it's already gone and moved over to my wallet. The first time I did it, it took roughly, I want to say it was about 10 minutes before I saw the OMI land in my wallet. So of course I'm sitting here like, okay, it's gonna take a little minute, but it took about 10 minutes, and then I saw the OMI appear over here. A recommendation that I also have, if you're already on Bitforex, you're already on KuCoin, just go ahead and get a little bit of Go token, because with any of these networks, whatever network that you're on, the native token that's sitting up here is the one that powers the fees in that wallet. The most expensive network is Ethereum. We know that. So when you're on the first network, you have to have ETH in your wallet in order for you to store coins or do transactions. The same is the case for all these other networks. So as you toggle through the networks, you'll see what the main token is. Like, for example, if I went to Polygon mainnet, it's going to want me to have some Polygon sitting here in this wallet. Or we know Polygon and Matic are the same. They rebranded it. But based on whatever network you're on, you're going to need the appropriate crypto in there to manage and handle the fees. Every other network that I've used is very cost effective aside from Ethereum. So if you're wondering how much fees should I do, this, that, and the third, just be safe and at least put $5 in there. That'll take care of most transactions across the network for you. Let's see. So that was pretty much an overview of how to add the mainnets. And that was also an overview of how to move your OMI from Bitforex to your Polygon mainnet. So I'm going to stop that recording, and then I can start a new one as we go through the other tokens and coins. I just want them to be concise. Hover, hover, hover. Stop recording.